Yo-yo and hello, my name is Lydia, and on today's episode of my 25-pound yo-yo, we will be talking about fatphobia and dating. Now, there's this viral TikTok that's going around where the creator says that if you do not date fat people, well then that is fatphobic. Well, I have a lot of opinions on this subject, so why don't we watch this TikTok clip and then we'll come back and discuss.
Hey, bestie! You're wrong. I think it's time for another adult pre-K lesson. What do you think? All right, turn your listening ears on. Catch a bubble in your mouth. Good job. Okay, here's the thing. Having a preference is something like, I'm looking for a partner who likes kayaking, or wakes up early in the morning, or loves pizza. But when your preferences exclude an entire group of marginalized people, that's problematic. Okay, that's not nice. That's not a preference. If you lump all fat people in one group together as though they are not very different individuals, that's fatphobic. Just like lumping all black people in one group and saying, I don't like black people is racist. And lumping all disabled people in one group and saying, I don't think people in wheelchairs are hot is ableist. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So putting aside all the issues with the condescending tone that I have with the creator, let's get into the exact issue of, is not dating fat people fatphobic? Now, the first thing I'm going to comment on is the preferences for behavior, but not body type. Well, I can actually tell a whole lot about someone's behavior by looking at them if they are obese. And that is simply because in order to be obese, you need to be eating a whole lot of calories and likely not moving very much. Now, I know they'll say, oh, but there's medical reasons why someone can be overweight. I'm like, yes, there are, but I've done a lot of research. And in order to be like really, really obese, the medical conditions are extremely rare, extremely rare. So most people that are of a certain size are that way because they eat too much. So when I'm looking at someone who is obese and they say, oh, but I'm really active, I'll probably agree and say you're probably really active for a fat person, meaning that they are more active than the average fat person. But they're probably, or I'm going to say, I'd be 99% sure you're not going to be as active as me. You're not going to be as active likely as someone who's half your size. I have seen the media try over and over and over again to show these outliers. Go, oh, look, this is a fat person and she can dance. Oh, look, here's a fat person and they can run. But the truth is, if there were so many fat people that lived such active lives and could be athletes, why do we not see fat people in the Olympics? Why do we not see fat people playing professional sports? Because you can't. You can't be that active and be fat. It would hurt your sport. So I look at my life and I'm very active. I hike, I walk, I run, I cycle, I dance, I do a lot of things. And yes, there are fat people that could do a lot of these things, but I don't think that there are any that could do them to my level. And if this is something that's mandatory for me, you must be able to keep up with me. Why am I going to waste my time dating 100 fat people to find one that might be able to keep up with me? It's highly, highly unlikely that I'm going to find that. So I'm not going to waste my time or their time. It's just not going to happen. Then we come back to the food. Now, with the food issue, you have to eat so many calories to be a certain size, and you're not getting there by eating celery. So maybe I don't want to be around someone who eats that much food or eats a lot of junk food. Maybe healthy food is my thing. So if you can have a preference for someone who likes pizza, why can't I have a preference for someone who likes to eat healthy and not gorge themselves? Or what if I have a problem myself? What if I have binge eating disorder and I don't want to be around people that also binge? Well, I don't want to be exposed to it, so my preference is to not be around people that binge. And don't tell me that, oh, you don't know unless you get to know that person. I can have a pretty reasonable guess that this person eats too much and moves too little. And that is up to me to make that assumption. Yes, but most of the time it is true. So why would I date person after person after person only to find a few stragglers that actually don't eat that much and actually can move more? It seems like it's wasting everybody's time. Making the assumption that fat people must eat a lot and move less is an accurate assumption. It's the same as someone looking at me with my very long hair and saying, wow, that must take you a really long time to dry. Yes, it does, because that is a fact of having long hair. Just like it's a fact that in order to maintain a very high body mass, you have to eat a lot of calories. No, it's not fatphobic, it's science. The next thing I'd like to address is that we are biologically wired to prefer fit and healthy bodies. The whole animal kingdom is wired this way. Think about birds. The male birds change to these bright colors to entice women to want to mate with them. Why? Well, they're showing the females, look, I'm dangerous. I am making myself more visible to predators. Look at how fit and strong I am. And that entices the women, the female birds, to go and mate with them. This is in our wiring. We are attracted to healthy bodies. We are not attracted to disease. And being obese, that is disease. So we are naturally wanting to mate with people that are fit and healthy. We can't change that. That's just how biology works. The next thing I'm going to talk about is being with someone that you are not physically attracted to, and how that is a terrible situation for both parties. Now, I actually have a lot of experience with this. I guess you probably wouldn't think so based on my channel, but I do. I've had relationships in the past where I've dated someone because they were smart, they were funny, they were intelligent, they had a good heart. All these are great characteristics, and they are so important in a relationship. I'm not going to minimize them. They are important. But what is equally important, or deserves a slice of the pie, maybe not an equal slice of the pie, but deserves a slice of the pie, is physical attraction. And if you don't have the physical attraction, you'll be miserable. I've tried to get over it. I've spent years in relationships thinking, you're being shallow. Lyd, you're being shallow. Stop it. I mean, this person is great. They're wonderful. They're smart. They make you laugh. They're reliable. They're all these things. You have so much in common. You can talk to them for hours. Everything is great. Why can't you just be physically attracted to them? And I just couldn't. So if you're not physically attracted to fat bodies, not only will you be miserable trying to figure out a way to become attracted to them, but they will be hurt that you can't get into a physical relationship with them. And that this is a disaster on both sides. So I think that forcing people to date someone that they are not attracted to is not the solution. It will make the whole problem much, much worse for everyone involved. I'd also like to address that not dating someone of color being racist, because as a brown person, I do not think that is racist at all. I think that you're allowed to have racial preferences in dating. I have racial preferences in dating, and I am of mixed race. There are many races that I will date, but I do have preferences for certain appearances. I think we all do. I think it's racist if you treat someone differently because of their race, like make assumptions of their intelligence and their abilities. Say this race can't drive, this race can't play sports, or this race does sports really well, this race is super smart. No, making assumptions that way, now that is racist. If you don't treat all races with respect, that's racist. But choosing who you want to date, that's not racist to me. If someone doesn't want to date me because I'm brown, that's fine. Do I want someone to date me who doesn't find brown people attractive? No. Don't be with me unless you want to be with me. Like, that doesn't make any sense. We have our preferences, and I think that that's fine as long as you treat everyone with respect. I will never treat a fat person with disrespect. I will never make an assumption about their abilities or of their intellect, I will always treat them with kindness. But that doesn't mean that I have to date a fat person. I already know what kind of lifestyle I lead. I know that I am very active. I know that I routinely walk between, 10 to 15 kilometers a day. I know that I don't overeat. I probably eat about 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day. I don't want to binge. I don't want to be around a whole lot of junk food. I know what my life is like. And I also know what kind of bodies I'm attracted to. So, no, I will not be dating fat people. And I don't think that fat people would want to date me. So I think that the argument that not dating fat people is fatphobic is silly. We should all date who we want to date, but always still treat everybody with respect. But alas, this is my 25-pound yo-yo and not fatphobia and dating. So until next time, yo-yo and let's go.